Hi, fellow leader. A while back, I was preparing for an online meeting with someone I'd never met. And in preparation for that meeting, I discovered that he had been a member of his high school band when he was younger. And that was something he and I had in common. I had also been in a high school band. So when we got on our meeting, before we started talking about the reason we were meeting, I said to him, I see that you were in a high school band. Me too. What was the instrument that you played? He stopped and he smiled, and it changed the entire tone of our conversation from that point forward, because we weren't strangers anymore who had never met, but two people who had something in common, and that gave us a place to build from. You see, that brings me to a really important thing that I've learned over my time with leaders. Common ground isn't the end of a conversation, it's just the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes we can make as leaders is to assume that others think about things in the same way that we do. We often begin conversations by jumping right into the topic we want to discuss, the meeting, the goal, the deadlines, the performance changes that need to happen. But great leaders understand something that really sets them apart, and that is this, that we don't always have to be in agreement to build trust. You see, I think trust begins and great conversations begin when someone feels heard and seen. I see you. Now we have a very different place to work from together, and we can move forward. Common ground is a wonderful tool. Sometimes that common ground is a shared experience. Sometimes it's a shared goal. Sometimes it's just as simple as asking a question at the beginning of a conversation to learn more about them. I've seen this principle change entire teams. So I want to share a story with you right now about a leader where common ground changed everything. A leader I coached was frustrated. His team wasn't communicating. They weren't meeting the production goals that he expected. And he asked me, why aren't they talking to me? So I asked him a question. My question was, what's the first thing you say to them in the morning when you come into work? He thought for a minute, and then he said, I usually walk in and remind everyone of today's production goals. You see, there was nothing wrong with him wanting to have goals. He was a kind man, and he actually cared deeply about his team. But what he didn't realize is with the comment that he made when he came every morning, he was telling his team one thing that they were hearing loud and clear. What you produce matters more than who you are. So I gave him two simple challenges for the next week. The first one was smile. And the second one was, before you talk about work, ask them a question about them. Within a week, things had changed tremendously. People were talking, things were improving, people were stopping by his office to have conversations. Trust was beginning to grow. Because before he asked them to do better work, he helped them to feel seen. He helped them to understand that they mattered to him. We often think that trust is built through one big moment. But the truth is, most of the time it isn't. It's built through many small moments, repeated consistently. A smile, a kind gesture, a thoughtful word, listening, remembering something important that matters to someone else, or helping people feel seen in some other way. That's why I created today's leadership reflection called the Common Ground Connection. It's designed to help you prepare for an important conversation before it ever begins. That conversation could be with a leader, a coworker, a spouse, a child, or someone you've been avoiding talking to altogether. This week, before you discuss the issue, I want you to take a minute and look for one piece of common ground. Ask one genuine question. Be truly curious. Help them to feel seen and valued. Because I think you're going to discover that common ground is not the end of a conversation. It's the beginning of a better one.